Toothpaste or tooth powder, which do you think is the best to use? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, which do you think is the best one for you? Is it a tooth powder or a toothpaste? We must have seen that in our household, in our native places, or our grandmothers, they must have been using a lot of tooth powder, the charcoal powder, etc., or different kind of tooth powders which are available in the market right now. You have some ayurvedic ones, the ones which people use with a toothbrush, or sometimes they use their finger and they use the tooth powder in order to clean their tooth. Now, which one do you feel is the better? I think the better one is a toothpaste and not a tooth powder. Now, why am I saying this? That's because the tooth powder action of cleaning is more dependent on the abrasive particles which are present in that. Like for example, the cleansing action of a tooth powder is due to, it's something like similar to your detergent action, where the cleaning is the only thing that takes place. But in case of a toothpaste, it has added contents like fluoride, which is very much required for your tooth. Then you have desensitizing agents, the tartar controlling agents, etc., which are required and which is absent in case of a tooth powder. Even if it is present in a very negligible quantity. The abrasive content of a toothpaste is just somewhere around 6 to 8%, whereas in case of a tooth powder, the abrasive contents is much higher, somewhere more than 90%. So just imagine the abrasive content which is going to be used on your tooth on a daily basis when you're using a tooth powder. How is that going to be? Tooth is a hard structure, but does that mean that it requires such a hard abrasive substance for cleaning? I don't think so. So the higher roughness of the particles present in the tooth powder is what causes the cleansing action. And this is the exact same thing which is absent in case of a toothpaste. Otherwise also, the flavored rest other than the flavors, whatever is present in the toothpaste is required for you. It's also seen that the radioactive abrasivity index of dentine in case of a toothpaste is much lesser compared to a tooth powder. So I would recommend you to use a toothpaste and not a tooth powder. So what in case you're using that and has been using that from a long time, it's high time that you stop doing that, because the harder the abrasiveness, the harder loss of enamel, there will be a lot of erosions which will come onto your tooth surface over a period of time, and the erosions which leads to enamel loss. And what happens when there is enamel loss? It is going to cause more sensitivity or a generalized sensitivity of your tooth. So enamel once formed does not form again and again. So the small thickness of the enamel which is present needs to be maintained. Of course, you are using your tooth, right? So on a long run, whenever you are having your food and this and that, over years, the enamel thickness naturally reduces. Along with that, if you're using a tooth powder, you are going to make the enamel loss much faster than what you're thinking. And the harder the material does not always mean that that's the best one for you. There are certain school of thought which still goes by saying that the use of tooth powder is better, but on a personal note, I have seen that using a toothpaste is much better. Also, the tooth powder, in some of the patients, I've seen that they cause a discoloration. I'm not saying that all the tooth powder does that, but there have been a couple of patients whom I have seen where we could not find out what is the reason for the discoloration of the tooth. And it was seen it's because of the tooth powder that this particular batch of family was using. And once they stopped using the tooth powder, the teeth had actually got the natural color. And what happens is that the small surfaces, the small crevices on the tooth surface, there will be tiny porosities, and the tooth powder gets incorporated into that. Whereas toothpaste, being a much smaller particle and much smoother in its action, it does not get incorporated that way. So maybe, we never know, there might be some toothpaste which is giving a stain to your tooth as well. This was something which was noticed in the clinic, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So guys, whoever is using a toothpaste, please continue to do so, and those who are using a tooth powder, please stop using it as soon as you can and start using a toothpaste whichever is of your flavor. That's all for now. Thank you.